Vivid will be back in the heart of Sydney, right here in Martin Place. That's good news, especially because the Metro is now running. First time we've had the Metro running right through the Sydney as Vivid's going on. It'll be an even easier experience for people as they come into the heart of the Sydney to see Vivid. 3 minutes to Barangaroo to complete the Vivid experience, all on the Metro. Families will find it even easier to make their way around the city this time. More free events than last year, 75% free events. That's really important given the financial pressures, the cost of living pressures on families, on individuals. So that's great news, the number of free events this time in Vivid. So many experiences these days cost you an arm and a leg. Well, Vivid is different. So many free events, 75% this year. Back before Vivid, as the weather cooled down, the city really quietened down. And that's no longer the case. Instead, as we roll into May, people are out in their hundreds of thousands coming into Vivid, being together with family, with friends, with community. This is a celebration of Sydney that you might not always think of. We've got amazing beaches, incredible icons, but here's a cultural, creative part of the year as part of Vivid Sydney that people turn out to see in their hundreds of thousands. We get plenty of visitors at this time of year, seeing a different side of Sydney than they'd often experience. The thing I love about Vivid is it does show the creative, colourful side of Sydney. It's one of the reasons that people turn out in huge numbers to join in. Hundreds of thousands of people turn out in the centre of Sydney. That's great news for the small businesses who get a real boost. Traditionally, they'd be closing their doors around this time of year. Instead, they've got them open. They're welcoming visitors to the city in. That's great news for these businesses, allowing them to trade and really get a benefit that otherwise they never would have got.
The theme for Vivid Sydney 2025 is Dream. I've been truly inspired by dreams. They're ageless, they're timeless, they're genderless, and they're completely free. Dreams can start a movement, can create change and inspire joy. This year we've changed the layout of Vivid Sydney with 5 zones that are all connected. Of course, our old favourites are back, like Circular Quay in the Rocks, Barangaroo Reserve, Darling Harbour, the Goods Line and Inner City taking in Surrey Hills, and the new zone for 2025 is Martin Place and the CBD. Martin Place hasn't been in Vivid Sydney since 2018, so we're super excited to activate that part of the city again. We're really excited about Vivid Sydney 2025 and the program we're bringing to everyone. With over 75% of the festival completely free, this is a festival for all of Sydney and all of the world. 100% of the Lightwalk is free with new installations and projections and brand new locations. Captivating performances for Vivid ideas, new food experiences, and a range of free and ticketed music experiences. We're really excited about the range of collaboration we've brought to Vivid Sydney this year, really bringing the best of both worlds of what Sydney has to offer in winter. We're working with Sydney Writers' Festival, Sydney Film Festival, the State Library of New South Wales, Sydney Opera House, Carriage Works, Bangarra Dance Theatre, City Recital Hall, and many more to bring you a fully rounded and incredible experience. Vivid Light 2025 is completely free. That means everything on the Lightwalk in all of our zones is free to enjoy. We've got new installation and projection locations, a whole range of new artists, and more installations and projections than last year. There's some brand new locations for projections and installations this year on the Lightwalk, including the Bond Building at Barangaroo and Chalice House in Martin Place. We're excited to announce that Australian artist David McDermott will feature on the Sydney Opera House for the lighting of the sails. David's work is unapologetically bold and will transform the sails like you've never seen it before. On the facade of the Museum of Contemporary Art, we welcome Vincent Namatjira, a First Nations artist who is world-renowned. I'm very excited to announce that for the first time, Vivid Sydney is working with a fashion label for Vivid Light. And who better to represent fashion than Sydney icons Romance Was Born, who will transform Customs House in an unmissable experience. This year, interactivity is front and centre of the Vivid Light Walk, with a range of things for the whole family to enjoy. We've got a tennis match with light. You can put your own face on a building inspired by the Incredible Moment Factory from Canada. We've got seesaws. You can even design your own building this year. So come along and enjoy being part of Vivid Light, not just watching from the sidelines. This year, Vivid Food brings a range of new food experiences to Vivid Sydney, all celebrating the best of New South Wales produce and beverages. This year, everyone's favourite Nigella Lawson joins Vivid Food for 3 unforgettable dinners at the Muru-Gilugu Tunnel at the Martin Place Metro. This brand new tunnel includes a sound and light experience like you've never seen before, and Nigella will be curating and appearing at all of these dinners that celebrate New South Wales food and produce. Our ever popular fire kitchen is back, sizzling with fire, and this year with spice. You won't want to miss it back at the goods line. Vivid Sydney is also coming to the Hollywood Quarter in 2025, which is one of the most vibrant parts of the inner city. Celebrating this area's incredible restaurant scene, we have street parties, food experiences, music, light, and a whole lot more.
The Vivid Music program in 2025 celebrates our collective dreams through sound and song, and we have a vibrant program that celebrates music for different communities and in various languages. Vivid Music this year celebrates Sydney's iconic music venues that we're all so familiar with: City Recital Hall, the Metro Theatre and the smaller Metro Social, and the Oxford Art Factory. This year, the City Recital Hall will host a special program of live music curated by Vivid Sydney, including German electronic pioneers Tangerine Dream in their first performance in Sydney in over 40 years. We have Soccer Mummy, who's an indie artist from Nashville, and we also have a very special event with Warren Ellis in conversation in partnership with the Sydney Film Festival. The venue will also be hosting a special day party called Sound Escape, which will be a day to night event featuring food and live music. The Metro Theatre will host an epic long weekend of parties, from Sounds of Afrobeat with an international lineup of Afro DJs. Nina Las Vegas's NLV Records will also be hosting their 10th anniversary party, featuring a lineup from across their roster. And Bad Apples Music is also celebrating 10 years in the business, and they'll be presenting an event called My Sis, which is an all-female lineup featuring artists such as Barker or Lady Six. The Oxford Art Factory will also host UK rap granddads Pete and Baz, and a special event from Newcastle via London label Steel City Dance Discs. Tumbalong Nights celebrates music from all around the world. We have 23 nights of free live music and DJs right in the heart of Darling Harbour. Tumbalong Nights this year has a wide range of music from different parts of the world and in various languages, including Mian and Chi She from Vietnam, Korean pop artist Stella Zhang. We have an Indian pop star called Zayden, an Afrobeat artist called Dobe Nyahore from the Ivory Coast, and a funk bass player called Mono Neon from the US. We also have a wonderful local lineup, including shows from Winston Surfshirt, Pania, Aisha Madden, who's the star of Heartbreak High, Charlie. We also have work from Ripple Effect Band, who are an all-female band from Arnhem Land, and Sydney's Body Type. So it's a wide range of shows and very interactive. We also have a show this year called Vivid Sings, which is an interactive choral experience, including 4 to 5 choirs, where you can learn a song at the end of the show. And we also have a show called Pacifics, which is curated by musician Erlich Ingram and presented by Garba Music, which features a wide lineup of artists from across the Pacific and the Pacific diaspora.
Vivid Sydney 2025 continues to take the Ideas program outside of the lecture theatre, and we've got an amazing array of experiences spanning film screenings, performances, physical theatre, immersive experiences, and a lot of them free as well. In his first keynote lecture in Southeast Asia, the creative director of Time magazine, D.W. Pine, will delve into the making of over 1,000 Time covers, chronicling the history of our visual world. Internationally renowned neuroscientist Matthew Walker will present why we sleep and delve into the science of our dreams. There can be a dark side to dreams, and so to celebrate and spotlight the idea of nightmares, we are transforming Sydney Town Hall, Sydney's original burial ground, with the immersive cinema brand House of Horror for cult classic screenings of Poltergeist and Edward Scissorhands. Across the harbour, Stranger Things The Experience at Luna Park, Sydney will transport people to 1986 Hawkins and present the most imaginative experience possible by the Netflix show creators. We've also got plenty of free events in the Ideas program this year, spanning from the First Nations storytelling series Fire Talk at Barangaroo Reserve, as well as the physical theatre performance by Legs on the Wall, titled Endling. And as part of our collaborations with some of Sydney's cultural institutions like the State Library of New South Wales, the Art Gallery of New South Wales and Sydney Theatre Company, we're staying up late on Wednesdays, Thursdays and Friday nights during the festival.
Vivid Live's part of Vivid Music as part of Vivid Sydney. It's a complete takeover of Sydney Opera House. Every venue is given over to contemporary music, and we program the best of world-class, huge international artists, as well as welcoming in the local collectives and scenes that make Sydney an astonishing place for music as well. This year we have art pop icon Anoni. After nearly a decade away, she returns to Sydney with her band The Johnsons. We have the searing, haunting voice of Portishead, Beth Gibbons, making her solo premiere in Australia in the concert hall, as well as bringing through incredible local acts like Western Sydney's vocal prince Saxel, First Nations supergroup 3%, and Sydney post-punk band G2G, all performing in the Hudson Room. We are incredibly proud this year to be welcoming for the lighting of the sails the striking, vital visual work of Australian artist David McDermott, animated by local Sydney creatives Vandal.
This year's theme for Vivid Sydney is Dream, and I think that's something that me and Anna kind of do a lot, whether it's like daydreaming or just even conversations with each other about things we think might be funny or cool or, you know, interesting thing to do. But it always gets us thinking and I guess like dreaming, and a lot of our things that start off as jokes end up becoming quite serious, or we end up going with them. So I think that the idea of dreaming is something that's really close and central to what me and Anna do as creatives.
I think it's important to be playful in your work and not to be taken too seriously, but take what you do seriously. And I hope that comes across, because I think our clothes have a real spirit to them, and I think that's what attracts people to Romances Born and makes it completely unique.
Not only does Vivid Sydney inject millions into the New South Wales visitor economy, it creates thousands of jobs across the state, from event production, arts, logistics, tourism, hospitality and retail. More visitors to Sydney and New South Wales means higher demand for staff in hotels, restaurants, bars, transport and local attractions, giving a significant boost to the visitor economy workforce. The flow-on economic benefits extend beyond the festival's 23 nights, supporting long-term employment growth in Sydney's creative, visitor and nighttime economies. Not only does Vivid Sydney inject millions into the New South Wales visitor economy, it creates thousands of jobs across the state from event production, arts, logistics, tourism, hospitality and retail. More visitors to Sydney and New South Wales means higher demand for staff in hotels, restaurants, bars, transport and local attractions, giving a significant boost to the visitor economy workforce. The flow-on economic benefits extend beyond the festival's 23 nights, supporting long-term employment growth in Sydney's creative, visitor and nighttime economies. To everyone working behind the scenes and on the front lines, thank you for making Vivid Sydney an enriching cultural event and such a valuable contribution to our state.
Vivid is an extraordinary cultural event. It's a global phenomenon, and every year we get to showcase Sydney and Australia in all its glory via Vivid. Now, it's such a fabulous event. It does an extraordinary job of getting people off their sofas and out of their cosy living rooms and out of their hotel rooms to celebrate some of the most wonderful winter nights and experiences you can have anywhere in the world. And this year we have something new with Martin Place talking about the transformation of Sydney. And it's so important for these events to be fresh and to evolve. So great to see this edition. And of course, while this is wonderful for visitors and for locals alike to get out and celebrate, this is also about the business community. This is a very, very important contribution to the New South Wales and Australian economy. Businesses of all sizes, big, medium, small, all benefit from it. And there are jobs to be had, and there is creative change to be had from it, and there is wonderful brand opportunities for making it clear to people that we are the best destination in the world. So another wonderful year of Vivid ahead of us.
Four, 3, 2, 1, lights